Hey everybody, welcome back to Crypto Kings. My name is Matt, and in today's video, I'm be going over exactly what's been going on with Shiba Inu recently. I'm sure a lot of you guys have been waiting, and without further ado, let's get right into it. Make sure to subscribe, guys, for more daily SHIB vids. Let's get right into it. So, if you guys haven't already seen this, this is a look right now at what SHIB is doing, once again approaching what looks to be their all-time high, or at least their all-time sustained high. I think we could argue that, when you look all the way back, and it's so far back, my webcam here is covering it, you guys can see when we look all the way back to early May or whatnot. You guys see here we peaked at 0.000049. I don't think that really counts because it came tumbling down and clearly was not sustainable at that time. But it looks like after again a ridiculously long period of consolidation, you guys can see that this is the first time we are seeing highs like this that are actually sustained. So you guys can see, of course, this was the bottom a few days ago here at around 21. And at that time, I said, wait a minute, let's take a look and see how this recovery actually works. But, when we look at it, folks, I mean, this is pretty textbook. This is pretty good. When you want to go and make a wedge like that, I mean, it really is fitting perfectly into a falling wedge pattern, which obviously is imminent of a breakout in this case. So you guys see, of course, we have, this little period here of consolidation, which basically took a whole day, and you guys see it kind of bounced around 21, 22-ish, and right about now, it looks as if it's finally completed a very consistent, very steady recovery. And of course, when we take a look right now at the Fibonacci retracement, this will analyze the most recent run. So it's analyzing the bottom from the 9th here all the way to the top today on the 11th. And what it's basically looking at is saying, okay, here is the top and the bottom of this period of growth. So we, of course, have the beginning and the top here. And right now, from the very top of this run, we're hanging out, right around, between the 23.6% and 38.2% decrease. So since the top of this run so far, we've lost, around 30% of all the gains made, which is okay. And ideally, what you want to do is look at these lines and determine whether or not it is, going to bounce off of them in the interest of a support, or is it going to be challenged by them and not be able to break through as a means of resistance? So that's essentially how the Fibonacci retracement would work here. But speaking of that, guys, if you guys want to go ahead and start a Webull, link down below in the description, you guys go over there, link down below, and you guys could get 2 free stocks valued up to $2,300. Probably the easiest, 10, 20 bucks you guys will ever make. Top of the link down below in the description. But recently, someone actually went over there, and me and someone else got $150 in fractional shares of Facebook. So who can't love that? Top of the link down below in the description, guys. But anyways, we're up 16%, on the day, which is wonderful, which is fantastic. And honestly, guys, I think we're on the verge of another potential breakout, because what I'm seeing here personally is a very sustainable recovery back to this all-time high we saw here. So when we look at the relative strength index, you guys can see it reaches the top here of this run, and of course the Fibonacci retracement has managed to course that out, and you guys can see it is showing on the RSI that it is a little bit overbought. It is a little inflated for the time. And then, of course, we watch it head down to 28 again, and it is still right now at 29.30 here, within, very well within the boundaries of the relative strength index. So ideally, if this continues growing in a fashion where, it stays under 70 and continues to grow, sort of steadily over the next few days here, this is kind of what I would like to see. Again, we could watch it surge, and it could, right now just explode, straight, rocket to the moon and go all the way through the relative strength index. And who knows, that might have no impact on the future. We know how, weird cryptos are like this. They're extremely, extremely volatile. When we go back a few days here, you guys can see it, is way past the relative strength index, even back here on the 4th, but it doesn't care. It just keeps going and going and going, and it's breaking through the relative strength index every single time, and it keeps going until a little bit of a crash. And again, you guys see that little crash, which happened here on the 7th. So again, that's just an idea of how you guys can look at the relative strength index and look at the Fibonacci retracement and read this again. I think those are a couple of the most important crypto related indicators. I'm not the indicator expert. I don't use a ton of them. I really really only use a few. And I think that these two are definitely good enough to, take a look at it and continue using them for reference. You guys see here, of course, on CoinMarketCap, we are 17 in the world right now, which is definitely much better than 50th in the world where we were a few weeks ago. So again, 17th in the world for all cryptocurrencies. So we, in theory, now have the 17th highest market cap with a 15% increase in the market cap, of course, on the day. In the same fashion that the price has gone up 15.64%. So we are right now right at around 12 billion really in market cap, which is wonderful. Trading volume is up around 100%, so $7 billion in trading volume, which is also great here over the past 24 hours. So again, you zoom out on the month, and it's like, yeah, could it come crashing down again to 7? I suppose it's possible, but I definitely don't see that as being likely. It is managed for around 5 days to have sustained the growth that we saw. And I think that's really what matters. For the past 5 days here, it has sustained the growth that, we all kind of saw coming, but, it is definitely nice to watch it not, fall flat on its face. Obviously, it is depressing when you watch a crypto you like, do that. So it is awesome to see that over the past really few days here, it has managed to sustain that. It hasn't had, an extraordinary amount of, sell volume at any particular time, except for, again, on the 7th here, where you could see it kind of hit that, little dump, which is understandable. It was a little overinflated. So again, that's what we saw on the 7th. But the fact that it managed to just rise after that, in the fashion that any normal, asset would, as opposed to a very volatile crypto, the fact that it had a very predictable, consistent rise here from the 8th up until now, the fact that it was able to do that is really pretty amazing. So that's what I would definitely look at. Again, the Fibonacci retracement and the relative strength index is what I would look at, in my opinion, if you guys were looking to just chart out where it is going to go over the next few days. Because in my opinion, we have one of two scenarios, and I'm going to refresh and give you guys a fresh screen here. So there are one of two scenarios, really. We could watch it consolidate here at around 30, something like this, over the next few days here. And of course, I can't chart out that far, but, something like this, some kind of section that is similar to, the way it traded horizontally here for a few days. And this was actually my prediction. I said, yeah, it's probably going to trade horizontally between, 25 and 28. This was my prediction. I said, hey, this is probably going to happen. And of course, today we were able to break out of that. So, with this breakout in mind, could we watch a replication of that? Could we watch it consolidate here for another few days and then have another breakout? Or, could it just fall through? That's the worry that I have, of course. When we scroll back here, you guys can see, it did have this fall through here, but it hadn't had such a long period of consolidation beforehand. So, we have this period of consolidation, gives us a little more stability in regards to this, occurring breakout, this imminent breakout that I'm looking at. So again, it did give us a little bit more stability. So, it definitely does raise the question, will it continue to chart, in a horizontal fashion like this, over the next few days, and again, sort of replicate that similar, sort of trend we saw a few days ago here? Could we see something like this, or is it going to just, straight out fall through, crash? I don't think it's going to happen, but again, those are probably the two scenarios I would keep in mind. So that's just me. Hope you guys have enjoyed it. Again, I do think it is a good time to buy all around for the long term, but it is a little high. So if you want to wait a couple days, see what goes on, wouldn't be a bad idea either. So thank you guys so much for watching. My name is Matt. See you guys on the next one. Peace.